Hi everyone, I'm Michael. Welcome to today's class. In the modern world, money has become the main measure of a person's power, success, and value to the world. Money has become an omnipresent part of life for both men and women. In a relationship, passion and friendship are very important, but you cannot escape having to deal with money. In such a money-crazed world, is there any hope for romantic love? Men and women have many differences between them, and an important part of a healthy relationship is to make use of each other's strengths and make compromises. This is especially true with finances, as a study by SunTrust Bank found that money is the leading cause of stress in relationships. Let's explore further to discover how couples can avoid clashes in money management to maintain a healthy relationship. We are going to talk about 3 things in today's lesson. Part 1. The different ways men and women spend money. Part 2. How financial disagreements can affect relationship quality. Part 3. How men and women can get on the same page. Our course shows an argument between a couple regarding money.
I just heard what you did. You did it without consulting me.
Yes, I talked to them and decided to invest more money. I didn't have time to consult with you, and I trust them. Look, it was an opportunity I couldn't resist. I'm sure it's going to be okay.
From the dialogue, you can tell the woman was angry because the man made an investment without consulting her. What might cause a fight like this? To examine this question, we can use a historic approach of traditional gender roles as well as modern behavioral studies. Looking at the gender roles during ancient times, women were responsible for issues with children and the community. Their role involved looking after the family's resources and preparing food. This may explain the modern habits of women with money. In the household, women are more likely to be in charge of daily money management and food purchases than men. Women also find investing more stressful and less exciting than men. In the past, women survived by being cautious and lowering risks. A recent survey found that around 68% of women indicated that they preferred to take no, below average, or average risks with their investments. In ancient times, men were traditionally hunter-gatherers. This involved taking risks to find food and survive in the wilderness away from home. Perhaps this is the reason men statistically have less involvement with household finances. They also tend to be higher risk takers when it comes to investments. Another pattern worth noting is that men spend far less time shopping than women. In ancient times, while men were hunting and gathering food and resources, women would negotiate and trade resources with other families. This might explain why women will spend more time looking through multiple shops to compare different prices of the same products. They are also more likely to wait for discount promotions. This is a contrast to men who quickly find the item they need and buy it without hesitation. While these habits may be a result of historical gender roles, there are other differences that can be explained by modern behavior studies. Men are more sensitive to money issues. They will be offended if someone questions their power to spend money and will see it as a threat to their self-esteem. Although both men and women like to purchase things to show their success to members of the same sex, the items they like to buy are different. For example, women are more likely to display their status by purchasing subtle accessories, such as a new purse, new shoes, or new earrings. One phenomenon is that a handbag made by European luxury fashion brands, such as Gucci or Louis Vuitton, may cost hundreds or even thousands of American dollars. Most men would be unaware of how much a certain brand of handbag would cost, but other women will most likely notice. Similarly, a man will purchase a sports jersey of their favorite player to show off to other men. This will not only show their dedication to the sport, but also their loyalty to the particular team and player the jersey represents. While there are exceptions, most women will not be impressed by a sports jersey. We have established some differences between men, women, and their money habits. So, when a couple wants to settle down and get married, how can they avoid conflicts over financial decisions? During the relationship, several important decisions need to be made. One of the most significant decisions is whether or not to share a bank account. There are a few different options, such as keeping separate accounts, sharing one account, or having a combination of both shared and separate accounts. The question is unique to each person and each relationship. However, here are some general effects that these options have on a relationship. Couples who share a bank account have a higher quality relationship on average. Both parties having full access creates trust and accountability with each other. When someone has a shared account with their partner, they are much less likely to make secret purchases. Secret purchases may be damaging to the relationship. The buyer may feel guilty keeping the secret, and the other partner may have suspicions based on changed behavior. This can lead to suspicions about other secrets the other partner may have besides purchases. Having unresolved suspicions can lead to a lack of intimacy between the couple, and an increasing sense of dissatisfaction with the relationship. An example situation of a secret purchase would be if a man buys an expensive computer to play games on. He may tell his wife that it was very reasonably priced. If his wife finds out the model number and finds out how much it really costs, she may resent him for lying to her. She may also feel frustrated if they are struggling to afford basic necessities such as buying groceries or paying rent. With bank accounts that are kept hidden from each other, one of the partners can make revenge purchases as a way of dealing with dissatisfaction. This makes the situation worse because you suddenly have less money than the other partner expects. While studies have shown that sharing a bank account is the best option for most married couples, individual situations may be very different. Some people feel anxious to share a bank account and would prefer to have some independence in the relationship. A couple may have total trust with each other and do not want to feel judged when they make personal purchases. Each relationship is different. Besides bank accounts, another important decision to make in a committed relationship is whether or not to get a prenuptial agreement. A prenuptial agreement, otherwise known as a prenup, is a contract signed by both partners before they get married to agree on some terms in case of a divorce. Usually, this agreement will include how each partner's possessions will be divided. The word nuptial means a wedding, so the term prenuptial agreement means an agreement made before the beginning of a marriage. In most countries, marriage requires both partners to merge all of their assets together. When a couple gets a divorce without a prenup, each partner is entitled to half of these combined assets. When one partner has considerably more wealth than the other, they may feel this arrangement is unfair. The risk of splitting possessions in half may encourage a wealthy individual to marry someone from a similar background, rather than for love. However, signing a prenup can dispel the concerns and allow people to marry for love. If both partners sign a prenup, the combined assets at the beginning of the marriage would be divided up according to what is written on the prenup. One limitation of a prenup is that any money earned by either partner during the marriage cannot be included. Therefore, the assets gained during a marriage should be divided up equally in the event of a divorce. People often have mixed feelings about prenuptial agreements, especially if only one partner wants to sign it. It may seem like a lack of faith and trust in the marriage, since prenups are plans for divorce. It can be an extremely unromantic or even ugly subject, and may make partners seem like they are questioning the validity of each other's love. However, a prenup may save a lot of time and money needed for lawyers to battle over assets in a divorce court. Furthermore, if the couple never gets divorced, then the prenup has no impact on the actual marriage. For wealthy individuals, prenuptial agreements serve a different purpose. They are a way for wealthy individuals to avoid gold diggers. These are people of either gender who forms a relationship purely to obtain money or gifts. After being married for a certain amount of time, the gold digger files for divorce. During the divorce settlement, the gold digger tries to gain as much money as possible from the wealthy person. In this case, a prenup can help the wealthy person save a lot of trouble. In a healthy, loving relationship, it is normal to have the occasional fight. Surprisingly, relationships that don't have arguments are unlikely to survive in the long term. Not fighting is a sign that at least one partner has no hope for long-term happiness in the relationship and is thinking of leaving. Therefore, fighting can create balance in a relationship when each partner shares their concerns and desires to the other. However, fights about money are more likely to be serious, remain unsolved, and then be repeated. This is usually because of the differences in attitudes and the high importance of money. The subject of the argument is not as important as how couples argue. Fighting without using empathy and trying to cause emotional harm to each other leads to a breakup or divorce. In contrast, if couples argue in a respectful way and make compromises, it leads to a healthy relationship. Our course shows a couple arguing in a hurtful, disrespecting way.
It's a stupid investment and it's going to fail. I really hate you now. And look what you've done. Your promises are just empty words. I really despise you now.
Well, what should we do? If you keep talking like that, we had better break up.
Yes, we should. I've had enough. I don't want to see you anymore. And I don't want you to even contact me.
Sure, if that's what you really want. But I want you to know that I haven't been lying to you.
Don't say anything more. I don't want to hear it. You're a fool and you can't even see what you're doing.
Arguing about money can bring out the worst in people. It can be a painful and frustrating feeling to have your decisions and habits attacked by the one you love most. In the course, we heard how arguing about money can lead to conflicts about other issues.
We aren't just disagreeing. You've broken your promise again. Your promises are just empty words.
She's upset because he has broken his promise again. She doesn't trust him anymore. She says she hates him because he has disappointed her by breaking his promise. Money can easily trigger a fight, since careless spending behavior can lead to serious consequences, such as credit card debt. However, sometimes a fight about money has more to do with deeper issues. Money can be used as a distraction for issues of control, security, and self-esteem in the relationship. When partners are fighting for power in the relationship, spending money can seem like a way of holding power. This can lead to partners spending money on unnecessary things to try and show dominance. We have talked about the differences between men and women and why this may lead to arguments about money in a relationship. However, discussing money in the right way can be beneficial for the relationship. So how can we have healthy arguments about money with our partner? The main challenge is to look from the other partner's perspective. It's easy to defend our position, but it is much more productive to listen to what the other partner wants you to understand. The best way to start the conversation is with action items. This means talking to your partner about an action you want to take, and then making a plan to do it together. For example, you can say, "I've been meaning to sit down with a financial advisor to look at my spending habits. Perhaps you would like to come with me, and we can do it together?" Another good idea is to remind each other that you may have different styles of money management. As in many parts of a relationship, the best solution is usually a compromise between the two parties. Also, it is important to make sure discussions about money are calm and relaxed, and in a comfortable environment. Money can be a tricky subject, which may cause people to stress out. One rule for yourself to follow is to try and accept your partner's mistakes. No one is perfect, and people may fall for the temptations of impulse spending. If you know you have made a financial mistake, have the strength to admit it and try not to take criticism personally. Make sure you talk about money sooner rather than later. Putting off an important conversation about money only builds up the related stress. While it may not be the most romantic topic, try to bring up the topic before problems arise. Be honest with yourself as well as your partner about your spending habits. If you admit your financial weak points up front, then your partner can be prepared to deal with them in the future. Apart from the effective ways of communicating, it's also very important to have some financial rules for both partners to follow. Here are a few useful examples of rules. Example 1. Agree on the maximum amount a partner can spend without needing to tell the other partner, or ask ahead of time. This way, you won't need to ask for permission on every small purchase, but you will be aware of significant purchases. Example 2. Write down all of the money spent on a weekly or monthly basis. This is a good way to find out where money is being spent and help to create long-term financial goals, such as retirement. Don't make major financial decisions without the approval of your partner. Chances are, even if they approve of the financial decision, they would not be happy to find out that the decision was made without consulting them. If they do not approve of the decision, they will feel angry and betrayed by your actions. Set aside some money in case of emergencies. This will lower the level of stress, knowing that you can handle a few unexpected costs. It is not a pleasant feeling thinking about how you are both in serious trouble if something happens without warning, such as your car needing an expensive repair or one partner losing their job. Okay, that's it for our class today. Let's have a quick review. In today's lesson, we first talked about different ways that men and women spend money by comparing their traditional gender roles and their modern habits with money. Then, we explored how men and women can avoid conflicts over financial decisions. It's crucial for couples to make some important decisions, such as whether or not to share a bank account or to get a prenuptial agreement. Meanwhile, learning to discuss money in the right way can also be beneficial for the relationship. Also, don't forget to write down some financial rules for both partners to follow. In the end, a healthy financial situation can help support a happy relationship. Having a mutual understanding about money can enable couples to share a home, plan for retirement, and live a harmonious life together. While money can't buy love, financial smarts can help love stay strong. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for coming to class.